Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Thursday night the 10th of July 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Transcribed by Wiser, now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It is Thursday, July 10th and you're listening to the big call. Thanks everybody for coming in, tuned in, from wherever you are. All around the globe. Thank you satellite team for getting this call out all over the world. Okay, guys, let's get into some intel. Let's see, I've got several things to bring to you tonight. The first thing is, let's talk about Iraq. Iraq has a prime minister, President Sadani was called by President Trump today to ask him to raise the rate on the Iraqi dinar on Saturday, or he would be looking at tariffs for Iraq on Sunday. Well, I'm sure Iraq doesn't want tariffs there, and I'm sure President Trump would rather have the Iraqi rate where it should be. And so the one benefit that we have on Saturday is that if they do that Saturday morning, they are 8 hours ahead of the East Coast, so it won't affect our Saturday in a negative way. It should be, in other words, that new Iraqi rate should be up on screens Saturday. Now, speaking of screens, our Redemption Center leader, one of them that spoke to us today, said there are no rates on Redemption Center screens right now. And this guy just a big call. When I was stepped away from the call, I got that piece. There are no currencies or rates on Redemption Center screens. And I'm going to say probably not on bank screens either at this time. And I think one of the reasons is, remember how we talked about our accounts, our bank accounts, being mirrored in the QFS. We talked about them being live on the QFS. Well, some banks are still doing with our accounts, and are supposed to be complete with that on or by Saturday, making our accounts live on QFS. Okay? And there's quite a bit of interconnectivity with that, between Starlink satellite system, the fintech system, the blockchain technology that's being used for the digital cryptocurrencies that as well as the Starlink satellite system. So the whole thing has to be fully interconnected, and that's what's been happening. And they're going to continue to make sure that everything's connected. So our accounts are in the QF system, fully activated and ready to go by Saturday. So that takes care of that. What about where we are as far as our notifications? Or notifications we thought would be out today, Thursday. Now it appears, and there's a reason, that we got pushed, I believe, till tomorrow to be notified. It looks like we're gonna notified Friday and begin exchange. They want us to start exchanging on Saturday, if possible. So we've got a Friday, Saturday start. It could be a Friday, Saturday and Sunday or Monday start for exchanges. In other words, if the numbers come out tomorrow, we shouldn't start Saturday, if we don't get them tomorrow, but then weekend. We're looking at probably a Monday start for exchanges. Okay? So I don't know that the Iraqi dinar is holding this up per se. However, I think the dinar has got to be at the rate it's supposed to be on the Redemption Center screens, which is going to probably take place Saturday. So we could possibly get those numbers tomorrow, I believe, and go ahead and set our appointments and begin our exchanges, hopefully on Saturday. If not, our first crack at it could be on Monday. So we have to just hang in there and be patient as this is taking place, and as we're looking forward to this coming to its rightful conclusion. All right now, if there's anything that I'm saying that needs to be brought out. Of course, we talked about last Tuesday, we talked about the RNR, talked about Doge payments. We talked about increases in Social Security, which are still on for this month. It may not be on your normal Wednesday, because I believe the first was Wednesday. Yesterday showed no increase in Social Security for those receiving it by direct deposit, and it's halfway through the month. In that sense, first and second Wednesday, even though today is only the 10th, it is very possible they will catch up with another payment on the second Wednesday, so we're gonna have to see how that plays out by the end of the month. As I mentioned earlier, we have 1 week to set our appointments for the redemption centers, and we have 1 month to do the exchanges and redemption. So that's the latest information on that. Now, when we call the toll-free number, we'll be going into a call center and look, there were 4 or 6 call centers that we'll be using. Really, each state has its own district office, which is a connection to all the redemption centers themselves. Now I don't think they can come into play for our calling to set appointments, but they are there and they are responding to the redemption centers, which remember quite a few. Can't remember if there's over 9,000 or more redemption centers. There are quite a few. You generally won't have to drive more than 45 minutes to an hour at the most in your western states to get to one. They will be very accessible anywhere from 15 to 30-minute drive. And of course they are not telling us where they are. They don't want us to know. Where they are, heavily secure, and they'll remain heavily secure when we go in there. But it's not going to be like an operation, where they're afraid to go in, very comfortable parking and getting to your appointments no more than 10 minutes early, I believe, 10 minutes, because it's possible they get done a little more quickly, with the previous person, and they'll be going out and exiting out of the different door, and you'll be welcome to come in, and so on and so forth. So a really cool experience. I can't wait. Cannot wait to go in. And as far as medbeds availability, the availability are pretty quickly. After our exchange, some of us have our names in the system, most of us do not, but they know who the ZIM holders are. And the trick to get in early, to be an early adopter into the medbeds, is to be a ZIM holder and have a dire need. If you check both boxes, yep, ZIM holder, dire need, you kind of go up to the front of the line, and you'll let them know that when you to redemption center, and then they'll key that in on the keyboard, key that in. And you'll be in the system, and you're good to go. Okay, so that'll take us get there, into the redemption center. And then when you go to the med bed center, which has 2 med bed at each one. And also all around in Canada, in Mexico, and there's some in Europe and also in Asia and Far East. I can't tell you the numbers in those areas, but they're all over the place. And when you go there, each bed center has 2 beds and produce you're having done. They'll put you in one bed or the other. If it's more of a dire need with an amputation or a lost limb of some kind, or whatever, that needs a little bit different approach to it, but it's going to be terrific. I'm very much looking forward to getting my everything else, as far as that goes, but it's not going to be a long time. It should be a matter of, I would say, 5 days, maybe 4 after your appointment. In most cases, if you're super dire need, it might push you up and move you up the scale. It may depend on where you live, too, because look, so if you're in one area of the country, I'm in a different area of the country, what difference does my timing make to you or your timing make to me? We both can get in fairly early based on our redemption. Now here's the other piece that I got yesterday on your calling inside your appointments, is that when you call in and you've given your zip code, they know roughly where you want to do your exchange, either your home zip code, your work zip code, or another zip code. If you're a different part of the country you enter, they will connect you to a redemption center in that area, close to that zip code, the closest one to you based on your zip code. So what they'll do when you call in, you get transferred that redemption center, you'll speak to someone who will probably be working with you. They'll help you set your appointment. And they will give you 3 time slot options, 3 times, pick 1 to 3. Whatever suits your schedule that's going to be an incredible experience for all of us. And I'm excited about going into the redemption center. I'm excited about that Quantum card, my Wells Fargo account, my Master account, getting my username, password for the Quantum card, 5-digit. Input my biometric finger or something, and my email address and email address, password. All that card tells everything between computer chips in that card about 3 times the thickness of regular credit card. And take this other regular credit card. So I think it's made of platinum, and that's your access to your Quantum account. You're not going to buy anything with it into whatever setup with it could have 3 different that are tied to links that Quant card your Quantum account. Okay, so you don't want to just willy-nilly lay that card down anywhere. Needs to be a very safe place. You need to move funds in the future. You can go to it and activate it and use it to move funds by yourself. You don't even have to do it the bank, because you'll have everything that you need to do it, even with a new Q phone that is coming, and it's coming. To us, if you're a ZIM holder, you get one for free. A ZIM holder, you get a free Q phone. My understanding is the service is free. I can't tell you any more about it. I thought there would be a service charge. I don't know, don't hold me to it. As of right now I understand there is no service charge. And it is a satellite phone, uses the Starlink satellite system to communicate. So it's going to be really cool. And very fast. It's at least 6 grams and it's going to be good communication. If you're doing mission work and you're down to South America, or you're in Africa, or whatever that K phone. As long as you charge it up that'll be good to go. I'm glad for that. That's cool anywhere you travel as long as, I guess, long as you have a signal through the Starlink system you are golden. There is some stuff in LA. You have probably read about, That made the news, about tunnels underground in LA, and yes, we're involved in cleaning that up, aisle 3 green underground. And they're making really good headway on it right now. They may have it already completed by now. It should be by sometime tonight, Pacific time, and that'll be a good thing. It'll be a very good thing to clean that up. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm just glad that they're doing that. Otherwise, it appears that all these rains that are happening all over the country are not a result of HAARP or some maliciousness, it appears. I can't say that was the case for Texas though. I cannot say that's what. Okay, however, my sources are saying the current weather issue and just kind of what's normal happening then, malicious or by someone. Or some machine. Okay, that's the end of that one. Let's see, is there anything else? Let's see if tonight, not tonight, we get these numbers tomorrow. I don't have any time given at this point on it. But if they come, what we will do is put it out on bigcalluniverse.com, and we'll send that email out as soon as we can. So you guys would have it from us, Big Call Universe, in addition to the one that comes from Wells Fargo, though we don't know, it could be in the morning, tomorrow. We don't know, we know they're trying to get those out. They just didn't get it for today. And I've got a full clearance from Department Defense and Treasury, and once I get the green light on both of those, I think everything is more or less automated. So let's do this, you guys. Let me thank Sue and Bob being great co-hosts on the Big Call. Thanks everybody in Big Call Universe for listening to the call for the last 14 years. Let's hope that we get what we're looking for, and the blessing comes in and we go forward and go into our projects and whatever we want to do after we've taken a little time to do what we need to do to assimilate everything. Alright, so thanks everybody so much for listening tonight. I appreciate it, and we can keep an eye on your emails. And we'll let you know if we get it, we'll put it out. Okay, thanks so much. Everybody, have a blessed weekend, and let's pray the call out. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon.